The following is a presentation of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Hello once again, everybody. Andrew Rodgers here, the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This is episode number 6. Yes, I'm of course the host, Andrew Rodgers. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys once again. Absolute pleasure. Really, guys, it's great for me to be able to do this. It's great to be able to bring a podcast to you guys every week. Thank you very much to you guys, the viewer, for watching and supporting. It's been absolutely unbelievable, the response. Each of the subsequent videos that debuted after the initial episode, episodes 2 through 5, have drawn over 200 views. They're somewhere in the 200 to 300 range. Guys, honestly, seeing those numbers, like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate being able to look and to be able to see that kind of viewership. The subscribers is up to almost 65, so thank you very much for that. And then, of course, the big one was our very first debut episode where we had League President Jamie Petrie on. Is over 1,000 views now, guys. Honestly, like, I can't tell you like how much I appreciate that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really, honestly, thank you for continuing to support and view our podcast. So thank you very much for that, guys. Great times up in this league are going on currently. Lots of player signings coming in. The teams are, getting around to filling out the rosters, figuring out summer plans, making sponsorships and getting caught up on those. Really doing the legwork and the groundwork to get, do all the prep work to make sure that when and if this season is ready to go on time, that we're ready to hit the go guns a-blazing here. So it's very exciting times, guys, and there's lots of cool things coming up. So if you want to make sure to follow along on our social medias, here at the links now. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get all the updates on the latest episodes and when they come out, news and updates on that. Make sure to follow us along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all the happenings and everything, as well as the various teams and all their social media links. You'll be able to find directly from that. We're doing a lot of things in this league right now in terms of the social media aspect of it, because that's where going to be our big draw, is going to be making sure, okay, yeah, you guys, this is where you find us. This is where we figure out what's going on. This is how you get in touch with what's going on and all the happenings. So it's a great thing, honestly. Everybody's into social media nowadays. Everyone's got that part of it taken care of. So, guys, it's where you're going to find us, and it's great to be a part of it. It's great to be a part of this league. It's great to be doing these podcasts. Honestly, it's a huge bonus for me. So there's a lot of things I appreciated, and definitely being able to throw these episodes out to you guys, I definitely appreciate that. We've had the luxury of having some unbelievable guests on our show so far in this brief existence that we've had with the podcast. We had Andrew Bogdan from the Stratford Fighting Irish in episode number 2. We had Rich Wigmore and Mitch Scott of the Allura Rocks, episode number 3. We had Sean Dickey from the Alvinston Killer Bees in episode number 4. And then last week, we had the pleasure of speaking with Bill Ryan from the Tillsonburg Thunder in episode number 5. The great guests continue, though, on this week's episode. It's a great honor for me being able to speak with this gentleman. He does a lot of work, and he keeps very busy, but he is in charge of the Langton Royals organization, one of the 6 teams announced for the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. And he is our guest on this week's episode of the podcast, the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, brought to you by Joe's Diner and Locker Room Lager. So we're going to waste no time here, and we're going to introduce Jason right now. All right, folks, it's at this time we welcome in our guest on this week's edition of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. He is the general manager of the Langton Royals, Jason Paco. Jason, welcome, pal. It's great to have you on here, and welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks, Andrew. Thanks for having me on.
Now, is it just general manager, or are you holding down a lot of titles these days?
General manager, head coach, head recruiter. I don't know.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. It's been a busy off season so far. Jumping into the WOSHL, it's going to be a transition for us. We're a junior team moving into a much tougher loop. We understand that it's going to be tough. Good thing is I do got a couple of my older players coming back, which is nice to have some familiar guys coming back. So
Sure.
they know what I expect, and they kind of expect the same from me. So it's a good group coming in. I have guys like Mitch Randall coming back, and a couple of Russian boys from an old team that we had a few years ago. So we'll be competitive, right? At most, I'm not saying we're going to be at the top of the charts, but I am pretty sure we will be a competitive team to play against every night.
Well, is that what makes this league so exciting in terms of thinking about and how this first year is going to go? Is the excitement factor behind it in terms of the unknown? Like, I mean, there's some teams out here that are starting from scratch. There's some teams that are coming over with pre-existing rosters. I guess you could kind of include yourself in that group. Does that add a layer of excitement to this whole ordeal?
Oh, 100%. Like you got teams like the Thunder who are coming in with a pretty strong lineup right away, and that's great. That's great for the league, right? Competitive hockey is what we want. We want
Absolutely.
We want to look at that level of play, and I'm going to look at the Thunder as being a top end team in this league coming up here, and I don't know the other teams as well, right? So I can't really say that, but that's where I'm going to use my measuring stick, seeing how they have done well in the past, right?
Of course.
So I'm going to use that as a measuring stick, and I'm going to say, all right, my goal is to compete with them. I'm not saying, like I said, they're going to be a good team to play against, right? But the goal is to compete.
Right? Absolutely. I guess to take us back then to how this kind of all came about, because I mean, obviously there was a process from the get-go for you guys to come into this league. I mean, how did that all kind of come to fruition?
Well, we basically were looking at making a move as a junior program to a league in the States. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to. So I decided that I didn't want to be part of the league we were in the past. And we, as a collective, decided that the WOSHL would be an opportunity to do something unique.
Absolutely.
Now, the biggest thing about something, this is what we're trying to do here as an organization, is not so much be that number one team. Is we're trying to get kids from the ages of 17, 18 to about 25, 26 that still aspire to go play in Europe and still aspire to go down to the SPHL or FHL and try to, take their shot, last kick at the can kind of thing.
Sure.
And that's what we're kind of looking to do, is take those types of players that really want an opportunity and want a chance, and using our, contacts through the FHL and SPHL and overseas, try to get them a few games throughout the season. Now, it doesn't happen for every player, but if we can do, 3-4 guys a year that can get a call up and get a few games, it helps the program. It also helps the league.
Do you believe, I guess, is the biggest selling point at this point is the fact that I know a lot of guys missed out on any overage years, and obviously have been, I guess, going through sort of a hockey withdrawal of late, I guess you could say, under this pandemic that's 400 some odd days old now. Is that a huge selling point to these players to come back and say, okay, we offer a game that's not just any sort of Saturday morning pickup league that you just kind of skate around for 2 minutes and don't play defense and all that sort of stuff? This isn't like that. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be hard-nosed hockey, and it's going to be fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's exactly how we're selling it, is that you're not coming here to play shinny. You're coming here to play a competitive game. And, every point counts. It's going to be tight. I have a good feeling it's going to be tight this year. A lot of new teams and young teams, right? So with that young team factor stuff, it makes it exciting, right? They
Absolutely.
try different things, right? The more experienced guys know not to do certain things in certain places and all that kind of stuff. The young guys are still kind of learning, right?
Of course.
So with that kind of stuff, it does make it for more excitement in the game, right? You get the bobbled puck, you get it happens, and I'll tell you, it's going to happen to us this year. It's going to be something that it happens, right? You get through bounces and you don't sometimes.
Of course. Now, I noticed that there are a lot of teams out there that have gotten the ball rolling, I guess, in terms of player commitments. Is that something that we can expect to hear from the Langton Royals about some of the players that they will be suiting up this year, or at least bringing out to camp if and when camp opens up in October?
We will be announcing our players coming up real soon. We want to get our website up and running properly and get our content up first, and then we've already signed 9 players.
Oh, excellent.
We have 9 players signed. We're in negotiations with about 12 more right now.
Fantastic.
And I got a long list of guys to go. So Yeah, we'll be there. We'll carry a roster of like 25. That's where I like to keep it.
Obviously, I understand that considering it's still pretty early on, but it's nice just to be able to essentially get the hype and excitement behind this team too in those announcements. Because as a person from Langton that's going to be coming out to these games and supporting the Royals, you got to be able to put a face in a uniform and say, okay, these are the guys that you're going to see coming out every night that you guys come out and support us, and they're going to put pucks in the net. And they're going to make things happen. I mean, that's obviously got to be a huge, boost for you guys to be able to have that announcement.
Well, 100%. And some of the guys we're bringing back, right? One of the Russian kids that I'm bringing in here, he had 81 goals in 28 games last time he played for me.
Get out of here! Come on.
Yeah, so he's stellar, right? So
I guess so. Yeah.
118 points.
Wow.
So that was a little bit of a lesser league, and I understand that, but. Right. Still 81 goals in 28 games. He's bound to score a few,
of course.
Right? So and he's bringing over his buddy with him, which is nice. So I guess he's just the puck distributor.
Yeah. So, yeah. You either have a ton of goals or you have a ton of assists. It's one or the other. It's really hard to do both unless you're select few, obviously. Yep. So what is it about this league that excites you? I mean, Jamie Petrie, the league president, is obviously a stand-up guy, having obviously close association with him. This direction that he's going in this league is very superior and should be commended and praised on a regular basis. What is it, I guess, that excites you the most when it comes to the league meetings and the direction that this league is going?
Well, Jamie's excitement of the league, it's amazing, right? So I instantly, the electricity right there was good. I was pretty pumped up when I met him and Bill there. And I thought that, their direction is exactly where I want to go. This is fresh. This is unique. This is not what we've done before. You're taking a lot of good things from different leagues and you're adding the elements that people are scared to add. It's really good. Like the promotion of the league has been amazing so far.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in years. And we don't have content, right? Like at the same time, we haven't played games yet.
Of course.
So with that, everybody behind the scenes there is doing a real good job of getting our names out there, and you've done a great job even with the logo the other day you sent me. That was awesome.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, I know that was awesome. I went right up. Yeah, I know those are things that other leagues weren't doing, and when they're not doing that, like what becomes enticing to a league if they're all doing the same thing?
Well, absolutely. My biggest thing, Jason, is what I've been preaching. We're in an age now where everybody's got a cell phone in their hand almost 24/7. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's the truth. And unfortunately, that's where they're going to find out things in terms of what's happening and what's going on. We live in a social media world, and that's where we should be. Jamie's vision is social media. You got to pound the streets, or not pound the streets, sorry. You got to pound the social media. You got to be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You got to be all over the networks, because that's where people are going to find out A, about your league, B, about the teams that are participating, and where to find these games that people are ultimately, hopefully, going to come out to one day. I think the social media part of this is going to be so important.
Well, social media touches so many people, and it's not, doesn't take a week, doesn't take a minute, it takes an instant, right? So it's out there, it's out there. It is what it is. People are going to see it, and that's what we want. What I've really liked about the league and what Jamie's been promoting and boasting is the biggest thing is when we have content, give it to the league so the league can punch it out too. And that's the biggest thing there too, is the league's been punching it out, and it's hitting so many demographics. I've been getting fan requests from people
that's awesome,
are in like Stratford and Strathroy, just excited about the league. And that's like, I don't know who these people are, but it's but you have a good conversation with them though. It's actually, they're excited about what's going on. I've had good couple conversations with people over Facebook, and they're just pumped up about this. They kind of can't wait for it to happen. And I guess everybody's chomping at the bit to see some hockey, right? So
absolutely. I mean, yeah, like you could chalk it up to hockey withdrawal. I mean, that's a big thing as to why people would be so interested in any sort of hockey coming in locally anyway. But there's obviously, what I was kind of worried about when I first heard of this league is, okay, here's another league of hockey that's going to be ongoing. It's a very big market, but is it almost too saturated? Was that something you were ever worried about?
I think with the direction our team was going in, I really didn't look at it from that standpoint. I looked
Sure.
at it from the way Jamie sold it to me. It was like I said, it was electric. They want to push things. They want promotion. They want to have our sponsorships and, promote our sponsors promote us back. It's been real good. Like, I can't say it hasn't been. Like I said, I'm a pretty busy guy on the day-to-day basis, running a couple businesses, and it's like sometimes I do lose touch with the group there, and it's tough for me to stay on top of everything all the time. But as we get closer to the season, it does become my main priority, and then I will be a lot more in touch. But from a standpoint from where I'm sitting right now, and like I said, I haven't been in touch as much as others, but I will be moving forward. It is what it is right now. I got a lot on my plate, but yeah, I think that Jamie's done an excellent job. Bill's done a really good job. The group as a collaboration has really helped out, and everybody's kind of pitching in. That's what we need to do here, especially if we're going to build a league. It's not we're coming into an existing one, we're building one. So if we're going to build a league, everybody needs to work together. It can't be, like, we can't just go into the season and start the season and just everybody's enemies. No, like, we have businesses to run. We should be able to go upstairs after the game and have a beer with each other. And that is what it is. Your team won tonight. Or my team won tonight.
Right.
It's a game. It's a game. At the end of the day, we have a business to run. We got to coexist and be cordial with each other.
100%.
And we all know, like, hockey-minded guys, we want to win.
Of course.
Right?
That's a natural competitive instinct. That's
where I've seen it in the past. The funk. It's people forget that it's supposed to be played in the rink.
Right.
Not in the hallways, not in, the beer room upstairs and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I think that if we can keep that as a whole and everybody, stays cordial like that, I think that we can look at building and bringing in more and more teams as we go on.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. We got to be able to put a market together in terms of making it strong, making it appealing, making people want to actually, give their hard-earned money at the end of the day to our business and our direction and be behind us 100%. Like, that's the ultimate goal, I think. From a team perspective and a man in charge, like, how difficult was it, I guess, in the process of finding sponsors, for example? I know that's a really touchy subject, having to go into any sort of businesses at any given time over this last 400 plus days, or 400 and however many days of this pandemic, to ask any sort of business for any sort of financial support. How difficult did you find that process?
Well, our program runs off a different type of financial basis, so sponsorship is always welcome and we love it.
Right.
We are going to start real soon. We're just finishing up our package right now. We've added some things, we've taken some things out that didn't work, and we'll be out there, touching base with people. We're going to look for minimal donations this year and sponsorships. Like, we understand, just like everybody else, we're in a pinch too.
Right.
We completely understand what's going on out here. So if they can help, they can. If they can't, they can't. If we can help in some sort of way and turn around and say, I can understand that you can't help this year, but you guys are having a tough time right now. We'll help you. We'll throw your stuff out there just because you've helped us in the past. Like, I truly believe that someone that helps you in the past would help you in the future if you continuously treat them correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Sometimes, like I said, everybody's in a pinch right now. It's not, the people are not making money. It is what it is. So you can't really go around asking for money if there's no money to give.
No.
So if there's no money to give, then, hey, it is what it is. Like, you got to look at what's really survived and done well over this is kind of the takeouts, the restaurant businesses like that, because there's nothing to do. So that's what you do every day. That's your trip is going to grab some takeout.
Right.
So, yeah, we would look to our restaurants and all that kind of stuff to kind of help out. But at the same time, we run a program where we do charge a fee. Our program runs a little bit different. We're on the ice 4 to 6 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
We're in the gym. Yeah, we're in the gym. I just opened a hockey facility here. It opens in June.
Yeah. Do you want to touch a bit on that? That's exciting. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I have a hockey school named SHA Hockey, and it runs through the Royals as well. What we do is we train on ice hockey. I've done off ice training for years as well, but we just got a facility. It'll open up in June, hopefully, if we can. I'll have synthetic ice, turf, full gym, bikes, all that kind of stuff, visual learning, everything that everything in the modern day, training tactics. We'll have that there. We'll have some of our guys who are playing for the team be working there. So cool. That's how we help them out a little bit as well when they come over. So yeah, it's been a work in progress, but it's getting there, right? It's been tiresome, but we're almost there.
You look exhausted.
Yeah, I run on 3 hours of sleep. It's pretty tough. Yeah, I know it's I've been working pretty hard, burning it on both ends of the candle pretty good lately. So yeah, it's almost time for a good nap.
Yeah. Right. The problem with that is if you nap too long or if you sleep too long, then you're overtired. Oh man.
Or you miss something.
Yeah. God forbid you should miss something. That's right.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking with Jason Paco of the Langton Royals of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League here on the podcast. What would be the selling point? Like if you had to go out and pitch to a player why they should be playing for the Langton Royals, what would be involved in that pitch?
Well, it's just like, as I mentioned, there was, we're practicing 4 to 6 hours a week. We're in the gym as a team 4 hours a week. We provide individual, like small group training for our boys, like twice a week. So you'll be in the gym shooting pucks and working on your shot, working on your releases, working on your accuracy, also working on your stick handling. It's a different program than you would see at the senior level.
Right.
It's completely different. We're taking the element of the junior level in the development part of it, and we're using it at this level, using the bigger, faster bodies to try to get these guys on.
What I've noticed in the past in hockey programs I've been involved with is that if a team is unable to field any sort of commitment in terms of numbers on a nightly basis, like if they're only icing so many guys every now and then, not consistently anyways, the team could struggle because of that. So is it important to preach, okay, if you guys are going to sign on to this thing, you got to be able to commit. It's either got to be 100 or 0. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be one of those things, like if you want to be on this team, you're all in, and that's got to be the mentality. Am I right?
And that's what we're looking at here is this is not a team that where you can miss practice and it's okay. It's not right. We want you there. We want you there. Like we build as a team. We're a unit. We're a family. That's the way we work here. So every day we're at it. They get a day off. That's what they get. Right. They're coming here. It's an academy. They work. And that's what we preach here. It's hard work. You learn, you get better, and the more you're on the ice, the more you're working out, the better you're gonna get. It is what it is.
And at the end of the day, too, I think a big part of the success is not only having guys buy into your system, not only having guys understand, okay, this is what we're doing here, this is our goal, this is our vision, this is where we're headed. But I think a big part of it is also going to be community involvement and community support. I think at the end of the day, being able to show, okay, we got a team here in this community of Langton, and we're going to be successful. We're going to be competitive on any given night. We're going to make this product exciting. And I think that's obviously something you're shooting for.
Oh, 100%. Right. So in our past league, we did have a good, decent fan base on some nights. Some nights it'd be excellent in the building, and some nights it wouldn't be so good. But it is what it is. Sometimes people just can't make it out. But the biggest problem would have been is the number of teams, right? We were seeing the same 2 or 3 teams for the season, and that doesn't help the fan base at all when it's just 2 or 3 teams for 49 games.
Right, of course.
Right. It's overplayed. Right. And the biggest thing for me in that was the players develop a serious hate for each other by come halfway through the season, and guys start doing things that are just uncalled for. Right. So with what we have going on now with this, and then building on some more teams, as Jamie's mentioned, I'm looking at, like, we're going to play 24 games. I'm going to get 5 different teams that I get to see in 24 games.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. If it was 48 games, then that's where it becomes.
That's a little much, right?
These guys are not going to like each other too much, right? So
next thing you know, we're talking like the Scotia North Division.
Right. So we don't want to. I'm excited about this. Like, we got a bunch of new teams to play against. All the guys that I've met so far are pretty awesome. They all seem like they're good hockey guys. They all got a plan for their teams. Right. That's what we want. Everybody seems pretty organized. So if we can keep going this way, I think we got a real good product here.
So let's just switch gears a little bit here in terms of like where like what does this mean for you to be a part of it from a personal standpoint? I mean, like, have you always been a hockey guy? Has hockey always been in your blood? Like, does it go back? Like, where does it kind of all begin for you on
That
the hockey sense?
started with my parents. I guess my dad and my mom kind of just got me into it. Wasn't the best skater growing up, and then
Who is, right?
where I grew into it as I got into junior, and then played some junior and went down to Pensacola in Oklahoma for a quick stint, and then came home. Didn't touch my hockey bag for a bit. It was that was bittersweet, but didn't touch my hockey bag for a bit, and went to school a bit and started hockey school. Worked in the nightclub industry downtown Toronto for many years, and then just said I had enough of it, and hockey was what I wanted to do, and I've always enjoyed hockey. My dad would tell me stories about I was drawing plays when I was 8, 9 years old. So
No
he kind of
way.
knew that. Yeah. So he kind of knew that I was going to
Cool.
be not a player, going to be a coach, but see how far I can go. Right. So I've always enjoyed coaching. When I was playing junior hockey, I worked at hockey schools. That's what I did. I love hockey. Hockey's what I do.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't say more about it. Right. It's taught me a lot. Saved my life in a few instances. So
Wow.
yeah, I can't say that hockey's ever done me any wrong.
That's really cool. I can't say this. I mean, I could say the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that obviously look at hockey in terms of having this huge impact. And obviously with the pandemic, it's really tough on that sense, because once it's ripped out from you, you really understand, okay, I miss it this much more.
Yep.
Do you have any sort of like fond hockey memory from like even your time at coaching or playing, like that you can recall, and like that really sticks out?
There's a few good ones. Playing in Oakville would probably have been with the Blades would have probably been my funnest time of playing hockey.
Oh yeah.
Had a real tough coach, but the boys were great. Like we had a real tight knit group of boys there. A few of them ended up in the NHL, which was pretty awesome.
That is cool, man.
Yeah, it was a good bunch of guys. We had a real good time. It's just one of those things where, like, this is what we're trying to build here, is that when you leave the rink, you still want to be with the boys.
Of
Right.
course.
It's that's what we're trying to build here, is that kind of atmosphere. I had that a couple years ago with my team, and it's just awesome to watch because they don't quit. Like, there was nights we're playing with 13 guys and we're winning 11-1, and these guys are blocking shots still.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was just amazing to see guys like I had a player named Cam Wilson, who was also my assistant coach last year before he went down to the FHL. He basically walked into practice. He looked like he was a mummy. He was taped everywhere. And it was an optional practice. This is an optional practice. We just played 3 games in 3 nights and been on the ice for 7 days straight. So I was like, this is optional. And I'm like, you're not going out there. And he's just like, oh yeah, puts this, and his foot was broken. Like, it was broken.
Way.
It was purple, blue, yellow. It was gross. He put his foot in the skate and tied it up there. And you can see him cringing with every time he just tightened it. But he went out there, and this guy practiced and still blocked like 6 shots in practice.
What?
And I'm going like, this kid is nuts.
For the
Like,
love
I'm
of the
not
game,
doing
right?
that. No way. That's nuts. Like, what he loves, like, that's another guy that was extremely passionate about the game.
Right.
It didn't matter. Like, it was hockey, so he came a running.
That's
So
awesome.
that's right. So that's kind of what we want to preach here, is like, those are styles of players we want here. The guys that are willing to bite the bullet for the other guy.
Right.
And that's what we teach. It's a family. We can't do this individually. We're gonna have to do it as a unit. And if we can't do it as a unit, we're gonna fail.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% there. In terms of, like I say, I hate to keep bringing up, like, obviously, because COVID is a big hotbed issue. I don't like talking about it any more than the next guy, I'm sure. But is there any sort of worry in your mind that the season may not start on time? Is that something you're worried about?
100%. It happened to me last year.
Right.
So, and last year we figured out a way to get in enough games for those boys that, I had to do it myself.
Of course.
Right. With collaborations from some pretty good organizations that helped us out, like the Oxford Warlords, and right there, the London Cobras helped us out a little bit, and then Seaforth, and so those guys helped us out and got us in a few games, and the boys were happy that we were able to get in like plus 20 games, which was crazy. That's awesome. So they were happy about that. I'm worried about it. I definitely am. It is what it is. I want to play hockey.
No,
Right? And these boys,
I get it.
and it sucks for these boys because they keep getting older, and
life doesn't stop for them, right?
Right, no, exactly. So it's just like watching. I have a couple guys that play in the OHL, and they're going their draft year this year, and
talk about heartbreaking for those kids. Holy smokes!
Yeah, right. One just came back from the U18 Team Canada win there, and he's
nice.
He finished tied second in points. Francesco Pinelli. He was coming to the school for a long time, and
awesome, man.
A good kid playing in Kitchener from Hamilton. So I'm hoping he goes high in the first round this year. They're projecting him anywhere between 10 and 26. So
awesome.
Hopefully that's the case. We've all seen it change, right? But hopefully that's the case. And it's just another kid that he worked his butt off, right? Like I had Phil Tomasino, who's also come to the school. He was playing for the World Junior team for Team Canada this year, and he had an outstanding tournament. Awesome. And it's another kid that I said from 9 years old. They have a different gear. It's just there. It's in them. They love the game so much. So it doesn't matter if you beat them once, you'll never beat them again. It's their mentality. It's their mentality. That's the gear that they're looking for. We're trying to develop that there. Not every kid has that. We know that, right? So that's the difference maker, right? It's the difference between the guys that make it and that don't.
Right.
They get that little extra gear.
Is there a sense of pride that comes to you that has associations with guys that go on to do well professionally and in whatever capacity on a hockey level? Is there a sense of pride that you may or may not have somehow, some way had something to do with that?
100%. Like I take it serious. I put a lot of work into those guys, and at the same time, it's them putting in the work. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm really into the work end of it. But they're putting in the work. They have to physically go through that hell. It's people that don't play don't understand that hockey is it expects a lot from you. You got to be in the best physical shape of your life to play this game. It is what it is, and it's the easiest shape to get out of. Right? Like you don't play for a week, you're in trouble. Like
amen, brother. Amen.
Your legs become jello, and you can't push it. Right. So the guys that are going every day, like you'll notice as the season goes on, you think they're going to fade, but they don't.
Oh, it's impressive to watch.
They build, and like the guys like Crosby who can still do it at that level at his age. It's they tell me he's not a top 3 player in the NHL. Like you don't want Sidney Crosby. Man. Exactly. Right. Watching him the other night, I'm like, he did something just so silly, like not even silly, just a simple sweep towards the net, but because he puts his stick in the right area and just touches it off. Ends up trickling through the goalie's legs.
Hockey IQ is off the charts with him, man.
Unbelievable. And then
you say it's funny, you draw from experience, and yet the Leafs put a fourth line out that had over 3,000 games combined. That was wild. There you go. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like it's you need your experienced guys, you need your young guys, right? Like the Leafs kind of got a good little formula there right now. Let's see how far they go. But I hope they do well. But at the end of the day, that's up to them.
Do you have a team that you're behind in the NHL?
I'm a Toronto fan. Toronto fan through and through. I've always been. As soon as Doug Gilmour got to Toronto, I was all in.
Big fan.
Yeah, 93 was I was all in as soon as he got here.
Wow, he's unbelievable, wasn't he? He was my favorite player of all time.
Best player in the league for those 2 years.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy that he only played there so long and yet had such a following and a fan base. It's unbelievable.
He scored some goals that players are still going, wow. Like that behind the net on Joseph was unbelievable.
Oh, everybody remembers that.
Right. So it's just he's done things that there's heroes and there's legends, right? There's heroes get remembered, legends don't never die. Yeah. That guy's a legend. Like that guy they'll be talking about that guy for a long time. Yeah. And people fail to remember that he won a cup in 89.
Yeah, which is wild, right? Like, and there were so many like unbelievable players on that Flames team in '89 too. Mike Vernon, Joe Nieuwendyk, Gary Roberts. The list goes on and on. Lanny McDonald. It's crazy. Al McInnes, maybe I think I was on there too.
Fleury.
Crazy, right? Like, just wild. Like, I love talking hockey because I literally get goosebumps everywhere. It's so much fun, right?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I enjoy it. That's it's what I do all day, Andrew. Honestly, I talk hockey nonstop all day. That's it's a hockey day every day.
Right on.
Yeah. One of the first things I do is I throw on the Elite Prospects and hockey DVDs, and I'm out there. I'm on TSN everything, like highlights of every game I couldn't watch the night before. Hockey's always running, so
No doubt, no doubt.
yeah.
Okay, well, cool. We'll close this off here because I don't want to take too much more of your time. Where can people find more information on you guys? Where can they reach you in terms of like the social media aspect of it? Where can they follow along with the Langton Royals and I guess your businesses? Where can they find you?
Well, the Langton Royals, you can follow us at www.langtonroyals.com/hockey shift. And you can find us at shahockey.com/hockey shift as well.
Perfect.
That's where you can find all our information. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just Langton Royals or SHA Hockey, Instagram and Twitter. You can look for SHA Hockey hockey training on Instagram, or Jason SHA Hockey on Facebook as well as my direct contact if you're looking to just get directly in contact with me as quick as possible.
Awesome. And is there anything coming up, I guess, for the Royals here in the near future in terms of events? Like, do you have things coming up?
We do a free ball hockey tournament for kids.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so the first year we did it, we had I think 70 kids out, which was awesome.
That's amazing.
We print out some Royals t-shirts with some numbers on them. They have a good old tournament in the day. We get some bouncy castles out, sell some merch, and meet some fans. The players come out and ref the games. Nice. So so they get to interact with the players too and the kids, and it's real good. Boston Pizza has done a real good job in Tillsonburg to help us out with some stuff for after games. So we usually do get-togethers there and team signings and all that kind of stuff. First 50 kids, like we did this in the past. I don't know if this is going to be something we're doing in the future, but we did it in the past. First 50 kids that came in under 12 got a free kids meal from Boston Pizza with any.
Oh, neat. Right on.
Yeah. So we did that. That was awesome. That brought in a lot of kids. That was, you know what, it's about the kids too, right? You want them. You want them aspiring to be in that jersey one day.
You got that right.
So I had that with the Streetsville Derbies growing up. I was lucky enough my rookie season of junior to play with them, and then I moved on to Oakville. Cool. But yeah, no, I got to do that. That was something that in my life, that's probably the one right there, Andrew, that I probably would say most actually is beyond Oakville was growing up watching a team, going to those games every Tuesday or Thursday or Sunday afternoon. And when I could and I wasn't playing, and getting to watch these guys go all out, and then one day getting to wear that jersey, that was pretty awesome. That was a good feeling.
Yeah, no doubt. That's awesome, man. That's the perfect way to end this whole thing. That's awesome. Jason, it's been an absolute pleasure, dude. You're a stand-up guy. You got a lot of passion, and there's a lot of success I feel from this Langton Royals team this year. I'm excited to come out and watch you guys play. So it'll be a fun year, and we're looking forward to it. And it's been great talking to you. Thanks for coming on here. We appreciate it. Thanks for your time, Andrew. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. I've been watching. You've been doing a great job. I'm excited to meet you in person, and hopefully give you guys some good games coming up here this season. This Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast is brought to you by Joe's Diner. Come and enjoy Joe's all-day breakfast, located at 155 Erie Street in Stratford. Call 519-272-9933. And by Locker Room Lager. Dump and chill and enjoy these suds with your squad. Visit postgamebrewingco.com for details. Once again, guys, I want to give my sincere thank you to Jason Paco for coming on to the podcast from the Langton Royals. We are very, very excited about the team that he's going to put on the ice, and the upcoming signings that he will be announcing. He's an absolute stand-up guy, very busy, very passionate, and he's exactly the kind of guy that we need in this league. So we're thrilled to have him, and we're thrilled to have the Langton Royals, and it's just been an absolute pleasure being able to speak with them today. We also want to thank our sponsors for the podcast, Joe's Diner out of Stratford, and Locker Room Lager, Post-Game Brewing Co. So thank you very much to them for pumping out, for supporting this podcast, and thank you to you guys for being able to viewing these podcast episodes and following along. So we really do appreciate that. Again, the social media links are up there. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as make sure to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. We really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. I am your host, Andrew Rodgers, for the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This has been episode number 6. Make sure to tune in again next week. Guess is to be is undetermined at this point, but no doubt we'll have an announcement on that guest and get you pumped up for another episode next week. So feel free to come back and join us. Should be fun. To all of us here, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys again next time. Take care.